Hello everybody and welcome to BWTales print number 49. 49 is a big number. It means that the project will be complete in another week. The idea of the project was 50 black and white tales and we are almost at the end. Being at the end, I started to think about closing a circle and I start to look back at the images also because I'm getting ready to prepare a book about this project. So I was looking back and I felt the desire to start to close the circle and I decided to print this image. This image is taken in the same place exactly as the first tale. And if you don't remember the first tale, check the link up here and take a look at it while you're watching this, because it's important to see that. And it's exactly taken in exactly the same place. That is the harbor of Giulianova in Abruzzo. It's a beautiful place, beautiful harbor, beautiful city. I love the Abruzzo region. It's a place with really beautiful scenery and fantastic, genuine people. And I was used to go on vacation with my parents in Giulianova for years. And last 2 years ago, 2019, after years that didn't went there, I was down again with my girlfriend, and my passion for the harbor came back again. So in the first tale, I tell you how there I took my first image with a professional approach, because I was a teenager, I was 12 or 13, something like that, and I had a new camera, and I decided to not just take a snapshot but to look for an image, so be careful about composition and all these kind of things. When I was back in Giulianova, I was at the harbor and I was fascinated by the harbor, the activity of the harbor, and I was fascinated by the moment when the fishing vessels came back to the harbor and all the people were there waiting, and I created a project. And this image is a part of the project. You can check it down in the description. There's the link to the project. By the way, it was also published by Love magazine, so that's another good point. And I approached the things in a totally different way. By the way, this image, the choice of this image is because probably is one of the images that is less able to stand alone, and I wanted to show you something that is just a part of the project, not something that can be alone. This image is great if you look at it inside the project. But what was nice was to see the different approach, was to see how 35, let's say 35, probably a little bit more, but I don't want to feel very old right now, so 35 years of professional experience, professional growth and personal growth changed my approach to the subject, but they didn't change what I wanted to express. At the beginning, I was going around and looking to show something that showed a symbol of the ability to create wealth of the fishermen. It was a kind of a commercial field. And 2 years ago, I did the same. And so the base is the same, but the things that I did were totally different. Totally different because, first of all, as I said, it was not more a single image, but I went for a project that is good if you look all the images and get much more, not only from the images and the quantity of images, but also from text and the story accompanying it. So that was the first difference. The other difference is that growing up, I started to insert people in my photographs. When I started, I was only about objects, symbols, the objects that were symbols of a production or something like that, of a human activity. But going on, I started to insert the people, to insert the faces and the expression of the people that were there working, creating the wealth. So that is another part that is totally different. The other difference and similarity is that, when I started, I was only about objects, symbols of a production or something like that, of a human activity. But going on, I started to insert the people, to insert the faces and the expression of the people that were there working, creating the wealth. So that is another part that is totally different. The other difference and similarity is that when I was the first time there, I had a film camera, a 35mm Pentax ME Super film camera, and I took that image. 2 years ago, also if I'm doing a lot of things with film nowadays, but 2 years ago I was there with a digital camera. And again, that place gave me a point of change, because as it changed me when I took the first picture from a casual approach to a snapshot to the creation of a photograph. Last time I was there, I arrived after kind of creative crisis about digital. With the use of digital photography, I never felt 100% comfortable, because I kind of changed my approach to photography. I became a slave of the camera and not a master of it. So I was always in some way following the camera and losing all my good habits and what made me different taking pictures. So when I was during this project, the first day that I was there, I started to take photographs in the same way I do always with digital, and that was something that in some way I was a little bit always behind the camera. It was always taking the pictures, check the LCD and all these kind of things. After probably half hour of taking pictures in that way, I decided that I had to go back to my film habits. And I didn't start to take pictures with film, but instead I covered the back LCD of my camera. And by the way, the camera is a Fuji X Pro 2, and if you're familiar with that, Fuji came out with the X Pro 3 that is calling it pure photography. That is exactly the back display that is usually covered and you don't see it. But I covered the back display to not be tempted to check the images. I decided to only use the optical viewfinder, so to not have a digital filter between me and the subject, and just look at the subject and take the picture. And I limited the number of pictures that I took. With digital we tend too many times to take a lot of pictures. I decided no, this time I limit myself. I observe the scene and I just take one picture for one subject. So that was a change in my life, and a place that changed my approach when I was a teenager. It changed again my approach, improving what I was doing, and gave me the opportunity to do another step in my professional experience and career. And I started to take the image with my film attitude, also if I had a digital camera in my hands. So that's the thing. It's I look more than 35 years of distance, and I see a lot of similar things, and a lot of growth between them, and a lot of difference in the approach. So it's very nice. And a suggestion: if you are a photographer or not, no matter what is your field, your career field, just sometime take a step back and look at what was the beginning, what was that gave you the passion, what gave you the idea to choose a specific career. And look at that. You can find yourself there. You can find sometime dreams that you had that you didn't fulfill, and you are still in time to do that. And you can find that you grew up, and you grew up a lot, and usually sometime in a very nice way, sometime you notice that you change the things in a way that you don't like, and you can go back. For example, that was I was in the same place taking picture of the same subject, and for me was I discovered it was okay, probably was inside me the memory of that images, and that made me think why I'm doing this in this digital way. It's all with too many images, all these kind of things, when I can use the same attitude that I used at the time with the new tools. So that was fun, and that's why I decided to show you this image, because it's kind of closing a circle, and now I can go further and I can go on and all this kind of things. And so it's a kind of very nice experience to look back and sit there and look at yourself and just think, what can I do, where I'm proud, where I'm not, and what can I do to improve. And this again can be done with any field. It's not a problem. If you are a lawyer, look at your first case and how you approach that, and why you became passionate about your field of work, or all these kind of things. So this was the image. Again, check up there the first tale, so you can see the difference. Check the project down in the description, because this image is really nice only if you look it inside the project. So check the project, and this said, thank you very much for watching. Keep creative, stay free, and this is the most important moment in the human history, to stay free and have a lot of fun. Thank you for watching.